Hello and welcome to Arsenal Analysed. I'm JC. I hope you're doing well. Today, I bring you tactical analysis on Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 3. That is now 3 wins on the bounce to this new Premier League campaign. But today, we're focusing on the away fixture to Bournemouth. 3 goals, 3 points, and a clean sheet. If you're looking forward to breaking down today's game, go ahead and smash that like button, turn that notification bell on to make sure you don't miss future videos, and subscribe if you're new around here. But let's waste no more time at all and start with a few basics, of course. So the lineup when it came out was no real surprise to me because Arsenal had won their 2 previous games. If it ain't broke, don't try and fix it. So no real surprises there. And this is the same lineup that I predicted in my preview video for those regular watchers on the channel. And if we have a look at the substitutions that Mikel Arteta went with towards the latter end of the game, the likes of Smith Rowe, Nketiah, Tomiyasu, Kieran Tierney, all the usual suspects. I did want to see Fabio Vieira feature, but maybe we'll have to wait just a little bit longer for him, even if it is just 5 minutes at the back end of the game. Now, there are some notable performances that I do want to talk about, individuals that is, which we'll come on to at the end of today's video in far more detail. But generally speaking, the back line, White had a very assured performance, Gabriel too. There were a few mistakes there in that first half between the back four, where I think complacency did sneak in a little bit when we were 2-0 up. There was one instance on the edge of the box where Zinchenko tried to do a drag back, which was completely unnecessary. And there are a couple of wayward passes back to Ramsdale as well. But the boys were confident enough and believed in each other enough to get the job done. Going forward, Bukayo Saka had, for me, again, another very, very quiet game. But if we have to look at the silver lining, if you will, to this is not all players will all fire on all cylinders at the same time. So whilst Martinelli and Jesus are having very good games at the moment alongside Martin Odegaard, who really stepped up today, maybe when those players aren't providing the goals and assists for the team in those tough and difficult moments, maybe the likes of Bukayo Saka can step up. We know he's capable of doing it. He's done it in the past. He does love that pressure. Now, looking over at the match stats, not real too much to talk about. Arsenal did dominate in the sense of possession. 14 shots are some good numbers there, 6 on target. I did think that it was actually a lot higher than that, especially in that second half. It did feel like Arsenal were going to go on and make it 4 or 5-0. Jesus going very, very close and unluckily given a goal offside through VAR. XG was another one that was on the low side at 1.7. Last week, for those regular watchers, there was a mistake in this department, which has now been corrected. But I've gone over 3 or 4 different sites to check the XG for both sides. Bournemouth's very, very low. Loving the fact that we only limited them to 6 shots as well. But XG on the low side to what I expected. None of the other bits and pieces in there in terms of cards, fouls, corners, offsides. No real surprises. A real solid performance from this Arsenal team. Nearly 90% passing accuracy as well. But let's get into some individual stats and passing shape, shall we? So some really good top statistics from loads of Arsenal players. I've had to go with their initials in some cases because there were so many good performances. So aerial duels, 3 successful for Odegaard and Jesus. Ground duels, we've got Saka, Jesus and Thomas Partey with 6 each. Cook with the most for Bournemouth with 4 tackles, 3 interceptions, top of the shot for Saka. 100% passing completion for William Saliba. Not only did he complete all of his passes today against Bournemouth, but he also attempted the most passes out of anyone else on the pitch for both sides. Key passes, 2 apiece for Ben White, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Jesus and Granit Xhaka. Long balls, Travers for Bournemouth. Crosses, 2 for Zinchenko. Dribbles, 3 for Partey. And shots, I actually thought this would fall to Jesus, but it actually fell to Martinelli. I think it was 1 on target, 3 off target in the end. Very unlucky not to get himself a goal, scoring 2 in the first 2 games. But moving over to Arsenal and Bournemouth shape, we can see here that Bournemouth were very much limited to counter-attacking football, especially in that first half. A lot of long, direct balls up to Moore, who is a huge physical presence, someone I highlighted as a danger man for Bournemouth in my preview video. They did look to double up at left back to try and deal with the likes of Martin Odegaard and Saka, who have formed a fantastic relationship. And in this case, we can see that wide rotation with Saka, White and Odegaard in Arsenal's passing shape. So very much forcing those fullbacks back, but they were very much limited to the odd counter-attack in that first half. And again, very similarly to the passing and shape and action areas to the last video, if we ever look at number 35 and 34 for Arsenal, very, very close in that half space, with Martinelli also in that half space just ahead of them. There were times where Xhaka was actually more advanced than Gabriel Martinelli, and Martinelli peeling off to that left-hand side. But Gabriel Jesus dropping very deep, very, very good and successful in playing a big hand in that first goal. He picked the ball up. It was a loose ball from a sort of pass/clearance from Ben White from inside his own half. He showed great strength to win the ball quite deep and then go on to help create Arsenal's first goal. And we can see here in the graphs at the very bottom as well, Arsenal, a lot of what we done well did come down that right-hand side. Arsenal scoring the second goal down that right-hand side. And a lot of the opportunities in the second half where I did think that Arsenal were going to score goals. There were 2, for example, the Jesus one, which was given offside via VAR. And there was an opportunity for Eddie Nketiah, followed by Emil Smith-Rowe right at the death, all of which coming down that right-hand side. So lots and lots of positives. Really, really, really good performances from the Arsenal boys. Now, if we have a quick look at the tactical analysis, if we break things down in picture number 1 here in the top left-hand corner, what makes me laugh is you can see the very long arrow. Gabriel Martinelli isn't even in the picture when Gabriel Jesus manages to win the loose ball. He then manages to get in behind. I think he takes the ball past 3 players in the yellow direction, which we can see here in picture number 2. We can see Gabriel Jesus highlighted in the yellow circle and the direction of the ball that he passes in. Bit of a reverse pass, and we can finally see Gabriel Martinelli just above him, making that run in behind him. He picks the ball up. We can see here in picture number 3, Gabriel Martinelli has the shot at the goalkeeper, makes a very, very good save. But what makes this very difficult for the Bournemouth players that are just in front of Martin Odegaard, highlighted in the pink circle, and Bukayo Saka just to his right, is they have a choice here. Do they stick with marking Odegaard and Saka, or do they go and close the ball down with Gabriel Martinelli, trusting the goalkeeper? What do? They went with trust the goalkeeper, and then by the time the ball was palmed out, parried in to the edge of the 6-yard box, it was essentially an empty net for Martin Odegaard to pop the ball into. Now, in picture number 4, there was something I just wanted to highlight off the back of the previous slide, and that is we can see here in the top left corner of picture number 4, that's Gabriel Martinelli. He's the furthest player back. Just next to him is Zinchenko, who is essentially playing as a midfield partner with Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka, the furthest player to the left, to the top of picture number 4, essentially playing in Gabriel Martinelli's position. Now, these 3 players done fantastically well operating in that half space, as we highlighted in the passing shape. So I just wanted to bring you an example of that in picture number 4, and also Gabriel Jesus there, giving you an example of when he did drop a little bit deeper, not necessarily playing off of the last man, bringing defenders out of position, allowing the likes of Gabriel Martinelli and Xhaka, who was very advanced at times, to run into those open spaces. And Martinelli certainly did very, very well at exploiting those spaces in this game. Now, looking very quickly at the last 2 goals, mentioning again in Arsenal's passing shape, a lot of those successes did come down that right-hand side with wide rotations with the likes of Bukayo Saka, Ben White, and Martin Odegaard. And this is highlighted in picture number 1. The yellow circle is where the ball is, with Bukayo Saka, Ben White making that overlapping run, which is where the ball eventually ends up. He plays a ball across the edge of the box, which we can see in picture number 2. The highlighted yellow circle is where the ball is. Gabriel Jesus takes a fairly heavy touch. And I do feel that if Martin Odegaard didn't get to the ball, I think Jesus would have got there anyway. Whether it would have ended up in the back of the net, I don't know. Nevertheless, Martin Odegaard took responsibility. He noticed that Jesus had taken a heavy touch, and you can see the direction the ball ended up. 2-0 Arsenal in the first half. I did think, at the time, that Arsenal were going to go on and maybe make it 3 or 4 in the first half. Maybe that's the one tiny little criticism that I could ask of Arsenal, is maybe looking to kill games off before half-time, because Bournemouth did come out in that first sort of 10 minutes or so before we scored the third, really revved up many long throws into the box, asking questions of Arsenal. And had they have got one back, it would have been a very, very different game. But nonetheless, in picture number 3, we can see here in the yellow circle, Granit Xhaka picks the ball up off the back of a long ball over the top. It was a cross or a corner, I can't remember now. He takes a touch and he plays the ball just to the edge of the box where that pink circle is, William Saliba. Now, initially, when I saw the shot, I thought Gabriel Jesus, because the absolute quality and audacity to hit the ball the way he did was just ridiculous. And then when I realised that it was William Saliba, I could not stop smiling. And the crowd, the away fans, they were absolutely brilliant today in the first half. I think the last 10 minutes of the first half, for about 10 minutes straight, all they did was sing the Saliba song, and they were rewarded, as we can see here in picture number 4, with an outstanding striker-like finish from the young centre-back, who is instantly now a fan favourite. Top bins, well done to the lad, especially after last week where he was really unfortunate against Leicester to get that unfortunate sort of, not bounce, but the way he tried to head the ball clear and it ended up in the back of his own net. So for him to come back this week with a clean sheet and score a goal like that, absolutely fantastic stuff for the young lad. Now let's have a quick look at some of the top performers from this game, in my opinion. Now, of course, we were going to talk about William Saliba. 1 goal, 84 touches, 100% passing completion, as already mentioned. 2 long balls completed, 2 duels won, 2 interceptions, 2 tackles, 2 clearances. That is top stuff for a 21-year-old. He has no right to be this assured and confident at the back. I'm very, very excited to see where this young lad's career goes. A lot of people had him down as man of the match. Not my man of the match, but nevertheless a top performance. Please go and sign a new contract. He had one hell of a performance today. Hi. Gabriel Jesus was another player that I wanted to speak about with an assist today. Very unlucky to not get himself on the score sheet. VAR disallowing that goal. Fine margins. Arsenal very lucky in the first half with that other VAR decision. A lot of people I've seen on social media have said that it should have been given for offside. But you take some with the rough and the smooth. 45 touches, 2 dribbles completed, 90% passing completion, which is much better than his last 2 previous games, which have been in the 70% area. 2 key passes, 2 shots, 9 duels won, keeping that label as the best pressing forward in the world, which many of his peers have labelled him with, and 2 successful tackles. What I really like about Jesus is that when he's not scoring goals, he is working for this team. You can see there 90% completion passing, 2 key passes and an assist. So it's not just about goals for him. He's involved in other ways, and I absolutely love it. Can't wait to see how many goals he finishes on at the end of the season. But my man of the match today, and stats don't always tell the picture of what actually unfolded. 2 goals, of course, in the side 11 minutes, which is absolutely fantastic. Heavily criticised for needing to contribute more with goals. Hopefully this is the sign of a big tally this season. Maybe 8 to 10 goals would be very, very nice. 70 touches, 85% passing accuracy, which funnily enough is quite low for Martin Odegaard. 1 dribble completed, 1 cross completed, 1 long ball completed, 3 shots in total. That's off target and on target, and 4 duels won. Now, something that you need to know about this guy is that stats don't always tell the full story. As I just mentioned, it's the eye test. This guy set the tone from the word go. He tracked everything down. He set the pace. He wanted to win every single ball. He wanted to be involved in every single move. It was absolutely beautiful and a top captain performance. He did not hide. Arsenal very much guilty at times of struggling against teams like Bournemouth, who like to play counter-attacking football with a very low block, two lines of that low block there, making it very difficult for players like Martin Odegaard to find space. And he had a fantastic performance. He stepped up to the plate and he set the tone. And for that reason, he is my Arsenal man of the match. Please do let me know yours down below. But that is going to about wrap things up for today's video. We have Arsenal Analysed live coming to you this weekend, so keep an eye out for that. Notification bell on so you don't miss out. Go ahead and smash that like button if you have enjoyed today's video. Subscribe if you're new around here. I suppose if I don't catch you tomorrow evening for Arsenal Analysed live, I will catch you next week for Arsenal's next fixture. But for now, I'm JC and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe and take care.